This is the story of Grace and Vanessa. I'm going to use it to illustrate one of the 6 keys of personal influence. Example. This is the Rwanda heart. It is a symbol most frequently associated with the Kinyarwandan term Ubuntu. It roughly translates to English as I am me because you are you. This story has a lot of tragedy in it. It involves Rwanda in 1994. And that's a time of genocide. And no story about genocide is a happy story. In this genocide, 1 million people were killed in 100 days. If you do the math, this is more than 6 times the number of people killed per day than the Nazi death camps at the peak of their executions. And this was mostly done with machetes and clubs. When the story takes place, Grace is 10 years old, and she's seen a lot of tragedy. Her playmates have been killed. Many of her family members have been killed. She and her grandmother are fleeing for their lives. On the trip, Grace finds a dying woman on the side of the trail with a baby still trying to feed from her mother's breast. If that's not bad enough, they're from the other tribe. The dying mother lifts her infant to Grace. Grace's grandmother and the others insist that she leave the baby. A baby like that will be trouble. They'll both be dead soon anyways. They will kill us if we have one of their babies. So what would you do? I know what Grace did. This 10-year-old girl stood there, scooped up the baby, and said, "If I have to die for this baby, I will." Grace named the child Vanessa. At 10 years old, she acted as both mother and sister to Vanessa. And the group was right. Things were very difficult with the other baby. When things got really tough, Grace offered to leave the protection of the group, to stay behind, to protect everybody else. But things turned out. This is Grace on the left. This is Vanessa on the right. And that space in the middle, that's where Vanessa's mom died. There's a video on YouTube about them meeting up and going back to that fateful place. So how do I know about all this? Well, I have friends in Rwanda, and I have a lot of connections with people who work with and around the Rwandan genocide. When I was in Kigali last year at this time, I visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial, and that's where I ran into people from the Aegis Trust. They're the people in charge of the KGM. They also run a memorial for the Holocaust in England. The Aegis Trust is focused on peace education. Peace education is based on 3 elements. The first is empathy, the second is critical thinking, and the third is personal accountability. And when I tell stories of personal accountability, I tell the story of Grace and Vanessa. If that 10-year-old girl didn't think she could make a difference in that infant's life, then there would be no Vanessa. And I know there is a Vanessa because Vanessa now works at the Kigali Genocide Memorial, giving tours and telling people her personal survival story. If you'd like to know more about Aegis Trust or the Kigali Genocide Memorial, please feel free to ask. Thank you for listening.